We've got a lurker. Who goes there? Who lurks there? Bob. Bob is lurker. Bob Burns is here. I'm ripping open boxes, seeing what we got. Let's see. Jeremy. Brendan with a D. AJ. What's good in Nebraska? Mr. Mindy. All right, we have some Ott's Garage Rocco 05. Actually, when I went fishing with my buddy Keith, he had one of these, and I threw his, and they were actually pretty decent. Like, they ran pretty good. One thing I don't understand, pretty extreme bill angle. Maybe it's just really high in the bait. I think it's because it's really high in the bait that it looks so steep. Not a lot of bone up here. Not a lot of meat on the bone up here between the bill angle where the bill's cut. Your bait is basically holding on by not even a quarter inch of balsa and some foil. One thing I noticed about these burns, is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Look at the clear coat dip line on the bill. You see it now? It's really shitty looking. Like, really shitty looking. I don't understand that. All of them are like that. Huh. Let me get a good light. Huh. Anyway, can't see that good. But that's odd. Yeah, I was when I threw it over last weekend, it feels pretty decent. It doesn't thump as much as you would think it would just by looking at what's going on here. But it's still a pretty good running bait. I've got OG6s with the same shitty clear coat on the bill. I don't understand that. Like, I understand it from like a garage builder standpoint, but I don't understand it from the leading balsa bait manufacturer in the world. You know what I mean? Like, they should have that shit pretty dialed. Lakes are opening up. That's exciting, AJ. I just bought a Blazer, E-Step, Sonny McFarlane, and Dean Helton. Wow. What's left? What's left? What does a man need? Yeah, this is like I said, the body shape is real good. The body looks, very Rapella-ish. It looks nice and clean and well foiled. But the bill install with the clear coat on it is got me puzzled. But Barnes, none of their other baits have it. Why did they do it on these? Like they don't have to do it for a DT6. What's the difference? I don't know. I don't know what that is, dude, because there's glue all over the bill. So I'm guessing they clear it, cut the bill slot, glue the bill in, and then dip it one last time to hide all the ugliness of the glue, is what it looks like, because there is glue smeared everywhere under the bottom of the bill. But it looks very sloppy. It looks very sloppy. Let's see what else is in here. I need a Little Speedy or one of the remakes. The Thin Man ain't cutting it. Let's see what's in this bag. Whoa. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to go to the. Wow, this is a lot. This is a lot of these annoying things. A lot. 1, 2, and by annoying things, I mean these. They're annoying because they're just hard to handle. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is that right? 4, 8, 12, 13? Yeah, 13. Odd number. Little Speedy, don't own one. I'd like to cast one. I'd like to run one and see how they run, but I don't have much desire to own one. From what I understand, they're wildly inconsistent. The wood ones and the plastic ones. Brennan's back. We can continue on. I think this is a Binsky, and I can tell you whatever they use to put their eyeballs in is some damn tough stuff, because I typically have to drill these out. I can't pop them out. Cannot pop them out. All I know is I started watching the 5-hour episode of the Smallmouth Crush last night with TK, and he was giving up the juice. What was I giving up the juice about? Probably was. Sometimes I just get talking, and juice unknowingly spills out. The guy I bought the other rare baits from has a giant stash of Little Speedies and won't part with a single one. That's odd. Is there any on eBay? Where's my phone? Or has there been? Let's see. I love searching, seeing what's been floating around on eBay. Lures. Little Speedy. None. Let's see if any has sold. Sold and completed listings. There's one. $49. Here's another one. What is this one? That one's like a real stretched out version. It's not like a real Little Speedy. It's like a stretched Little Speedy. It didn't look right. But the real deal one, it sold for 49 doll hairs. Look at those eyes. Travis, I saw where Panger posted that they were having server issues or some sort of computer issues. I think he said hopefully they'll get it back tomorrow. I think I saw that on the gram just a few minutes ago. Let's see. Matthew Pangrak. Story. In other news, hopefully the server issues will be fixed for tomorrow's BTL show. Brendan, I've thrown him. I wasn't that impressed. The juice was just flowing. Interesting. Very interesting. And that probably wasn't even all the juice, because I know I don't always bite my tongue a little bit. Heard he's single now. Uh-oh. That's not cool. The life of a fisherman, though. The life of a fisherman. Who's on these? Takahiro still holding down the Lucky Craft sponsorship, I see. They love that dude, and I never hear much out of talk. You had EE fired up. That was a pretty fun show. That was a pretty fun show, I must admit. The first two were real good. Last one got good. It just took a little while to get the ball rolling. But I always have fun going on the Crush podcast lives, whatever you want to call them. That show put EE on the hunt. He smelled blood and he said, I gotta have it. I need to go. I've actually watched those quite a few times. I need to go back and watch them. Does that make me a narcissist if I sit around and watch old streams of myself? I will say they were pretty. I don't think Travis had more than a few sentences. That sounds pretty typical. Bob, probably. I think we're talking about the first Smallmouth Crush live I went on. I think it ran 5 hours. And then the next one I did, it was damn near close to that. Oh, that was right. Yeah, because he didn't. That was the interesting part. Burns was that Eric. I don't think Eric had bought baits you built that I painted, and he didn't realize they were yours. And then the light bulb went off and was like, "Oh shit, these are Burns's." Oh. Bob, that was a really good one. That was probably the one where the first one was probably the one where I told the goat story. I think that was where I shared the goat story, which I said I wasn't going to do. Is that true, Travis? I thought you followed me before that. Yeah, I have actually the outreach from the Smallmouth Crush community has been awesome. All all of y'all that were from there are incredible people and followers of the sport and me and all that kind of stuff. But it was very it was really good. How about that? How about that? As much as I dislike Travis, oh Manson, he is a interesting guy. He I did buy shirts. I did back in the day. I had a run in with Manson on Bass Boat Central. I had gotten I had gotten burned and and I needed long sleeve T-shirts because I had second degree burns up my arm and I had to wear like bandages and shit, and I had to wear long sleeve T-shirts. So I was like, if I'm gonna wear T-shirts, I might as well get some like cool fishing shirts. So I got on like Bass Boat Central and started looking around for like fishing shirts or whatever. And Manson was selling uh, Mercury shirts. Go, go figure. Pre beanies, he just had the T-shirts at this point, and they were, you know, decently priced. And I was like, oh, these things are. I'll buy these rags, wear them, get blood and second degree burn goo all over them. So I bought his two Mercury shirts, and he said they were pretty good shape. They were they were they were pretty gnarly, but I didn't care. Like I said, I was going to destroy him anyway. So if you hear me on any of those podcasts giving him shit about his stinky ass shirts, um, that's what it's from. Because like when I was in college, I bought shirts from him. I would have been in college. It would have been like 2006. No, 2008. What's up, Nasty Nate? Yeah, I think it was 2008 where I bought these shirts from him. Um, have I started watching the Big Bass podcast yet? No, I have not. Unfortunately, I haven't started watching jack shit because I can't stop watching Matt's Off Road Recovery and Vice Grip Garage. That's all I watch anymore. Um, I haven't I haven't seen anything fishing wise that's gotten me even remotely interested in watching a show. Uh, but I need to add that. I'll subscribe so they hopefully feed it to me and I don't have to remember. Big Bass Podcast. The Big Bass Podcast. Subscribe. Okay. Videos. The King of Texas Bass Fishermen. How about that? Um, wow, they got a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11, so I got and they're all hour, half hour. Okay, that'll be fun. I'll add those. I'll add those. But no, I just watch mainly Matt's Off Road Recovery, and I go in spurts. I hadn't watched it for months, but now I'm on a kick, and there's like 100 new ones. So like I haven't watched it in so long that I can go back like 6, 7 months and catch up. When I first started watching it, they were at like, I don't know, sub 100,000 subs. Now they're at like 1.5 million or something. They got a lot. But if you've never seen that guy, he lives out in Utah, and he goes out and these people get stuck out in the desert or in the mud or out there in the wilderness, and he goes and pulls them out. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun watching him dick around in the dirt. People do some dumb shit. Anyone bummed that Mark Davis couldn't clinch his victory? Yes. Yes, I certainly am. The Kardashian fashion forecast. Amy's been glued to her phone lately. She got a new phone, and I guess it's so smooth and new. She just sits there on her phone, and I get to watch whatever I want. She's just checked out. Okay, right. Maybe she's out of Kardashians. She hadn't found any new smut to watch. So I'm sure something new will pop up. But I would have liked to see Mark Davis Anthony clinch a victory late in the career. I always like seeing those old geezers do good. Uh, but well, I mean, I guess not winning, but nearly winning. That should be a good boost to his morale. You know what I mean? To know that like he's still not out of it. He might not have closed. 1995 Mark Davis probably would have closed that out. Maybe not, but he's still, it's still probably lit a fire under his ass that I may be old, but I'm not dead. I can still catch bass. Um, KVD had a shit start to the season. Well, uh, I guess everybody looked forward to him like coming out guns blazing, you know, lighting everybody's ass up because it was going to be his last year. But Doug wants Swindle to get one. Eh, I like Swindle, but I'm not like cheering for him because he's set. You know what I mean? Like, dude's made his money. Dude's, everybody's favorite. Like, if he gets a win, he gets a win. It's not going to do anything to his career. You know what I mean? Mark Davis, he's kind of he's been at the top. You know what I mean? Swindle's never been at the top. He won Angler of the Year, but he's never been like a Mark Davis. Mark Davis has done it all. So, Mark Davis has tasted he's been to the top of the mountain. Now he's down there in the damn bunny slopes. So Swindle stays at the top of the mountain and he doesn't even have to catch fish. So yeah, inside Swindle is probably uh, sure he is fierce for a win. Um, Swindle has fished too long to not have a win. Yeah, one Florida Open win. Pretty crummy. You would have thought by now he would have locked one down, but the world needs Bernie Schultz's, I guess. That's when you made it. You have a video game in the '90s, or like Brower got on a Wheaties box and Clark Winlet. Who else got on the Wheaties box? I think Brower was the first fisherman to get on there. Uh, but like Rick Clunn, like everybody's pulling for Rick Clunn. Everybody wants Rick Clunn to win because he's been there. You know what I mean? It's good to see the phoenix rise and like come from ashes and do good again. Um, trying to think who else. Think you saw one of Brower's boats for sale? Like one of his new boats or one of his boats from yesteryear when he was fishing locally. Got my cup back. Rick's won enough. When Rick has won plenty. But he's the oldest dude out there, so. 2006 Ranger Ardent wrap. Man, those things sucked. Letter Nate. 2006 Ardent wrap. I remember they had that reel with like, it had like a fixed paw that like didn't move back and forth. What was the concept behind that? Y'all remember that? What was that piece of shit, AJ? Is Mark Menendez in it? If so, him. Menendez is on the Elite Series, I believe. It was raised on one side and flipped over. Those things were weird looking. Brendan, they're probably shot like all the rest of them with a damn chop gun and just blasted. AJ, you should pull that thing out. Did you buy it because of Brower and his Nebraska roots? That's what it was, Travis. It was the flipping reel that had no moving paw. That's the one I was thinking about. It just looked like a little. It looked like a little bitty like model tank with a little turret out the front. What happened to Ardent? Are they still around? I don't want anyone to fail. I think Wheeler's new boats aren't going to survive the market we're in. No. I mean, as soon as I say that shit, though, dude, like, I really do forget how much, like, pull these guys have. You know what I mean? Like a guy like me can sell, like, $10, $15 crankbaits. A guy like Jacob Wheeler can sell $100,000 boats. Maybe not 100, but you know what I mean? Like, there's enough people that follow Wheeler that want the like latest and the greatest, that's got the wallets, that'll go out and buy them. Aren't making reel oil and grease plus cleaners. Doesn't sound too terrible. The piece of shit is still on Tackle Warehouse. The flipping reel? Let me look at this. Let me see this thing. Let's see if it's still as horrendous as it used to be. Bob, correct. Sustainability, no. Can they sell a fair amount straight out of the gate? Sure. Is Icon Boats going to be around in 10, 15 years? No. Nope. Unfortunately not. Let's look. Ardent flipping reel. I'll be damned. There it is. Casting reels, Ardent. There you go. Oh, there it is. No, from Ardent. Brendan, Ardent. It looks like a little Mario Kart tank. There is a There's no worm gear or moving pawl. It just sits. It's fixed. Also have one of those U.S. Reel Supercasters. Is that from Ray Scott? Has no drag. That's pretty awesome, though. It's pretty awesome that they were like, dude, screw it. We're not gonna make a moving pawl. We're not gonna put drag on it. It's just gonna be a damn winch. It's gonna have 1-speed winch. Let's see. I want a retractable hideaway graph that flips up when you step on it. For the front, like on the front deck, where it would be like beside your trolling motor pedal, you would just step on it and the screen would raise. Casey, I tried my hardest back in like 2009. I tried to develop a live well cooling system because my dad was friends with this dude that owned the HVAC company, and we sat around and I was like, "How do you cool water on a boat?" And he's like, "Well, you need coils and you need this and you need this." I was like, "Yeah, how do you put it in a boat?" He's like, "That'd be pretty tough." I was like, "Yeah, live wells need that. You need to be able to cool your own live wells." And he's like, "Well, you could pack a." He's like, "You could take." The only way we figured you could do it was you could lose one of your side lockers beside your live wells, and you could run the coils in that, and then just pack it full of ice. And that was the only decent way. That was the only way we could figure out how to do it. I don't know how they're doing it now, but it didn't make a lot of sense. Unless you would have to design the boat around it. Like if you had a little small locker in between the side locker right beside the live well that just had the coils in it that you could put, that was insanely insulated that you could, it was like Yeti. It was like a Yeti cooler or some sort of insulated dense foam that you could pour ice in. It was just like the plug-in coolers. See, they didn't have plug-in coolers back then. Do they work? Plug-in coolers. You mean like one of those, like a mini fridge? I got a call. Are these protein? John, I've never painted a reel because I don't want to take one apart, or I don't want to take somebody else's reel apart. And anytime somebody has asked me to paint their reel, I said sure. Just take them apart and send me the parts, and I should be able to paint them. So the only thing I have trouble with is trying to hold the parts. Like I have to rig something up to hold stuff. But I've seen some atrocious real paint jobs where guys just get them some Createx like they paint lures with and some epoxy, and they just smear that shit on there. And oh, dude, horrendous. Decade Works is the real guru. I don't know how he does half that shit he does on there. I'm with you, Anthony. That's why I like my truck. That's why I like my E7s. That's why I like all my old shits because I know how to work on it. If I ever get anything that I can't, that like confuses me, and I'm like not good at working on it, then it's usually not for me. Um, I guess the only reason I know about my truck is because I've taken it apart 15 million times. Uh, I'm not convinced that it's all paint though, Brendan. That's the part that confuses me. Um, I think some of it is, but uh, certainly it's not all because he's got a lot of like. I'd like to know how he does some of the little lettering and like words and stuff like that. He has a cooling tray with a T to start to set temp. Interesting. I was back then. I was trying to figure out a way to get involved in the fishing world and make a bunch of money and just like sell like a product and not have to install it. Like create the system and then just sell it to every boat manufacturer. Um, um, they don't look like water slides though, because water slides typically have are not as invisible. Like his shit looks like it grew there. This shit doesn't look water slidey to me. Water sl- Water slide would be too amateur for that dude. It's not. I think it's something above that. I think it's whatever the next step above that is. It's like a. I don't know. I'd like to see it. If there's proof that it's water slide, I would love to see it. But Colby does. I think it's called Decade Works on Instagram, and he just does. He just paints reels. Um, but he is exceptional at it. I mean, they're flawless. They are flawless. But he's so good at these weird. I mean, the first thing that he's got going is that he is able. He's really good with a computer because he is able to print all these. What he's doing is he's doing like a from what it looks like to me is he has vinyl printed and he does it for each bait or reel he's doing, and he prints vinyl and he lays the vinyl pattern down, paints his base coat, then lays the vinyl down, and paints what other color he does, because his lines are too clean to be anything else. So all of his stencils are not standard stencils. They're printed for the bait in that shape, and it sticks. Might not be like total vinyl. It's some sort of adhesive, uh, you know, shit for what you call it, like this camo. Can't see it that good, but it's. I mean, dude, I don't know what he's. Uh, he's almost painting with like a. It looks to me like he might be painting with like a ceramic coat or like something like that. It doesn't look like some of his stuff looks like standard paint, um, but a lot of this shit looks like it's like ceramic coated, um, Cerakoted, whatever it's called. Uh, but it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild what he does. Like a lot of this shit looks like single stage stuff that like doesn't have like a clear coat on it. Like it's like one part. Um, but he knows, he has some sort of insight into odd coatings. If like, because he paints weird, he doesn't paint standard coatings. You know what I mean? Like he's painting magnesium reel. He's painting aluminum spools. He's painting, all this weird shit. And I think that's what he's best at is. He is a coatings wizard. Um, where do I see the future of paint and clear on baits going? Um, I don't know. You'll probably see some. I was talking to who did I say that to? Burns, about adding scent to his epoxy, or you'll probably see scented some sort of scented hard baits, um, to where they incorporate it into somehow figure out how to incorporate it into the clear coat, uh, or some type of like some type of adhesive permanent like scent, because paint can only go so far, uh, especially when you look at like, I mean, what's they've got sound emitting baits. You got Livingston. Um, you've got laser lure that Ike hawked back in the day that had laser beams poking out of it. Um, not if it's not. It would have to be a secondary clear coat. It's not. It wouldn't be the clear coat that protected the paint. It would be an additional clear coat that would stick. That would be on top of the regular clear coat. Um, probably something like that. I'm surprised they haven't done that in Japan yet. But color wise, you look at like, I mean, I'm sure the next level will be foils will get better. Um, they will get more realistic. Um, but it'll just slowly. Like I don't think you're going to see anything that like just hits the market and everybody's like, whoa. Um, the problem is clear hooks do need to happen. I would love for that to happen. Not that I really think it makes a difference, but um, I just think it would be a cool concept, and I certainly think way back Strike King sold a sound emitting jig and weight for the C rig. Yeah, the thing about stuff like that is like any of this shit we're talking about, you have to you tread on thin ice with it because in the drop of a hat, in the drop of a hat, you're a gimmick. Like if you don't really like play your marketing card like flawlessly, you're going to get thrown into the Lunker Hunt bargain bin at Academy next week. Uh, so um, you know you're going to be a Livingston. You're going to be all these people. So the typical big players in the industry can't really get away with it. It's not. Uh, it's not. It's too risky for them. But for a smaller company, you can try it because you don't have anything to lose except everything. But the only way you could get away with something pretty out there is you need the Japanese to do it first to solidify it. Because even if it doesn't sell in Japan, like you put the laser lure out in Japan, and like Amakatsu comes out with a laser lure, people over here see it, and without knowing anything about it, it kind of legitimizes it because it's a JDM product, and the Japanese are smart and they're uh, cutting edge and they're from the future. So if somebody saw it there first and then brought it here and was like, "Ooh, we have the same technology," I think people would be more willing to accept it because it's got a JDM badge of approval on it. But without that, mm, it's a tough. It's a tough. It's a tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. Um, so I don't think you're typically going to see big swings of you know that's why the fishing market is so slow to develop anything. That's why it's like years behind everything else because it's a really slow, methodical. Uh, it just takes the fishing industry a while to catch up. Nothing happens fast. People don't. It takes the fishing industry a while to like gain steam. But the thing about it is, when it gains steam, it's insane. Like once the ball is rolling, you can't stop it, and you can't make enough. But getting it there is a pretty it's a tough damn road. Uh, But for anything, you know, out of the ordinary. Well, like, look at the chatterbait. Nobody liked the chatterbait. Everybody thought the chatterbait was fucking stupid. Even after the A-rig, chatterbait, all that stuff had been around. Like the A-rig dude was walking around selling A-rigs out of his damn trunk. And everybody's like, this shit's stupid. It's got 5 arms on it. You can't catch bass on that. It's like a big 5 giant saltwater wire leaders on it. Like, a bass ain't gonna eat that. Not only did they, giant ones. You know what I mean? Like, and even then, people are still like, eh. Like, it took an insane amount of push for people to like be like, oh, this is actually legitimate. So Jersey, what's up? The acre shaker was certainly before the chatterbait. I had some of those when I was a young man. They were pretty cool, and I threw them, but I didn't like light the world on fire with them. Um, and like, you would have thought if you had a chatterbait 25 years ago that you would have just destroyed fish. But I had the acre shaker and I threw the acre shaker, and it didn't like I didn't like tie it on and like instantly just start wrecking bass with it. Um, Not enough that I was gonna like do something else. Um, but cool concept, awesome concept. But it didn't work. You know what I mean? Now you look back at it and you're like, dude, if I would have like just put a jig on the acre shaker, maybe, maybe, maybe I would have been like a local legend because I would have had the chatterbait before everybody had a chatterbait, and I would have just destroyed people. Uh, but I was, you know, I was a young dipshit. I wasn't thinking about putting a jig on a damn acre shaker. Put worms and shit on it, but or like a lizard, and it scooted around. But like I said, it didn't get like crazy bites. Uh, then we would have to go back and pretend we knew about obscure baits that these new baits gained inspiration from. Yeah, speaking of, I found this on my desk under my computer. If you want to know if you want to see everything that's already been made 100 years ago that they're trying to sell you now, old fishing lure and tackle guide. Um, yeah, so this book has got it all, dude. It has got it all. You think somebody's, you think somebody's come out with something cool? Mm, no, no, that was from 1912. So here's a King Zigzag. It's got a jointed head on it. Uh, what else? All kinds of weird stuff with like spinners and body spinners, and this one's got a 1905 Smith minnow. It's got a movable tail. And that's from fucking 1905, dude. Like, all right, how about that big stupid ass gill bait that some swim bait company came out with? Look familiar? What's this guy? Immel Bait and Tackle Company. It's called the Chippewa. Guess when this shit came out? 1909. Nice try, guys. What is this? Coaxer? So weighted fly, I actually use those. But literally, dude, when you look through this thing, like you see every shape imaginable. Like those dudes were really, really, really creative in how they put baits together. But they've done a lot. Chase bait prop duster, correct. Chase bait prop duster. The chase bait prop duster, like I said, was called the Chippewa Skipper or the Chippewa. 1910. Way to go, Chase Baits. You made a 100-year-old lure. Not to say that I'm above doing something that would have already been done. That's certainly not. But because half the time, which a lot of this shit you might not know about, right? Unless you're like a damn historian. But I think you need to, not saying that everything that's ever been created in recent years that had something similar to it that they even knew about it, but some of it you can certainly tell is has had influence. But there's a lot of weird stuff in here. Another clear plastic lure. Here's one. Oh, this is cool. So check this out. This one. It's called the Lurk Live Lure, made in Kansas City, Missouri. So what the concept is, it's a little coffin. And what you do is you put your shiner in it, and it protects your shiner. So the fish just see the minnow inside the box. How about that shit? That's pretty clever. I could see something like that coming back out. Just go buy some shiners and like have this like silicone skin with a crankbait bill in it, and you just stick your shiner in it, and it looks just like a damn shiner going. I stopped watching Milliken when he went to ICAST and bashed companies for copying like the Chapo and the Cane Walker. Yeah, I would say that's the pot calling the kettle black. Would you not? Would you not? My thing is, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me to take inspiration for something that was made in 1910 that was a good concept, and pairing it with like modern day materials and design and that kind of stuff. Like that makes total sense. But don't act like it's an original thought. You know what I mean? Like if I build a damn lure coffin for a shiner, I'll be the first to tell you, hey dude, I was reading this fucking book and I saw this lure coffin thing. Thought it was a cool concept, so made one. Worked incredibly well, so I'm gonna make more of them and supply them to everybody else. Maybe they can catch fish on them because you can't find these from 1920. But there's, dude, it is infinite. Infinite amount of stuff in here. Like I said, every shape, color, which is a black and white book, which you can tell the colors are different. The lots of minnow, mouse and rat type baits in here. Lots of hair. Old Ben's. He made like a H&H spinner. Um, artificial minnow. A lot of the stuff had incomplete patents. Like, look at this! Look at this stuff. Like, it's got little spinners on them. Now, what's going to happen is Depths is going to come out with that, and everybody's going to be like, "Ooh, Depths!" It's like, nah, bro. Oh, Depths came from 1950. Squeaky Mouse? I don't think so. Is it in this book? And you see this kind of shit a lot in Japanese lure building. They take a lot of reference from really old concepts. The really weird ones, like that. What else is weird in here? Everything. I mean, it's pretty cool though. If you want something to just sit around and like look at pictures. Here's a Devil's Horse. What year did the Devil's Horse come out? Oh, look. How about that? You're never going to believe this. Look what Devil's Horse did. They drilled a hole in their bait and they put a skirt through it. Would you look at that? Huh. That would be cool on a swim bait. Guess what? I'm telling you, dude, like the shit that everybody sees has been done like a lot. A lot. But just like boats, I mean, besides this thing Casey's talking about with like the cooled live wells, like jack shit hadn't changed in a boat in a long time. Like that's why, like if you go out and buy a new boat, besides just having like if you fish like competitively and want the contingency money for having a new boat, like a new boat versus an old boat literally does nothing the same as far as how they come from the factory. They have pumps on them. They have bilge pumps. They have live well pumps. They have some lights. They have rod lockers. They all have pretty shitty locking systems on those. That's about it. They'll get on plane and they run to the same place. Some do it faster than others. The name of this book is Old Fishing Lures and Tackle. This is the 6th edition. I don't know how old this is. It was with Carl Lucky and Clyde Harbin Sr., the Bass Man. I don't know when this was printed. Let's see here. 2002. Brennan, certainly you can flip through this book and get inspiration from the Civil War and put it on your baits, and nobody will know the difference. Tons of ideas you can find in here. I mean, how about this little bait? It's a little cicada-looking thing with wings. How awesome does that look? I'd probably throw that if I had one of those hatches around me. I know the guys up north do. This looks kind of chatterbaity. What's that called? A crab diver. You know what else it looks like? It looks like that wattle bat. The spinning minnow. What is this? Like, this is something I would like to try. It's called the Splash King. I don't know what it does. I won't show you. Maybe I'll build one. I don't know. But this is my hamburger crab bait. No, it's too rudimentary. That stuff is actually pretty impressive. I do have a wattle bat from Burns, and it wattle bats. Yeah, I think that was South Jersey in the in the '70s. You saw the push for plastic, so you didn't get much. Everybody wanted an alphabet bait in plastic, so you just saw the rush, the gold rush to plastic, and you didn't see. I don't feel like you saw a lot of innovation with baits as much then. It was more just trying to convert everything to plastic. In the '80s, kind of picked back up. I feel like guys were doing stuff a little different. They were trying to make materials a little more their friend, kind of taking older designs. Uh, is there any bait you know of that's not a copy or a rendition of another bait that's like 100% original? No, because I'm not. I'm not. As soon as I said something, it would probably somebody like Bernie Schultz would be like, "Oh, dude, that's from 1912. That's the skitter flopper, flippy floppy." Like, oh, okay. Um, but I don't know. I got sneezing in. It does not exist. I mean, not that. I will tell you, I have a concept that is nowhere to be found in that book or any other antique lure you will ever find. It would be 100% unique. %100 unique. But I would probably need to patent that. Some of the plastics they were working with back then have just turned to dust by now. But everybody says now that the damn old plastic was the shit. Butyrate, whatever. I mean, it does have a different sound. They would get jammed in itself. I don't know. Brendan, I don't. I think the only person that knows it is Eric, and Eric's probably forgotten. And he probably will say it in a stream unknowingly and be like, "Oh, where did I hear that from?" Like Eric. Butyrate ain't bad, but there's this plastic. I'm forgetting the name, but it would turn white and get all chalky. Speaking of old plastics, I was digging through some old school big ends to freshen up. They actually look pretty decent. Since you're up in K-Pink land, the man that put the Norman Big N on the map. My eyes were a little high on this one. I don't know what I was going for here. But the only reason I own this is because Kevin Short won a top 150 tournament or a Bassmaster Open or some shit back in the 90s, and he was fishing. I think he was on the Columbus pool in Mississippi, which was kind of near where I fished, and he was throwing a Bagley Boss V3. I like that. He was throwing. He might have been throwing a WEC at the time, or he was throwing something else wood, and he was throwing the Big N. And in the article, he was like, "I don't want to talk." He basically said, "You know, I don't mind talking about the other ones, but I don't want to talk about the Big N." And that was like back in the 90s, and that's still like stuck in my mind all these years. And like 10 years ago, I was like, "Oh, I need to find some of those Big Ns." Good baits. Endless supply, Morgan. I would probably keep that to yourself, bro. JP, what hook do you like on the Epic Shad? I was going to put a number 2. No, it should be fine with 2s. I think he can float 2s just fine. I don't think you need to go to 3s. I don't think it would give you any more action unless you need it floatier. That a number 3 might float it a little faster, but probably not noticeable. Not noticeable. 2s will work fine. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't think a difference in a 3 and a 2 is going to make it like suspend or anything or do anything weird. It's a lot of floaty. A lot of bobber in there. They were also made in your backyard. Yeah. I miss Norman, dude. I miss Norman being cool and not like a, you know, Pradco brand. That always lames everything up. But I guess it's better than having no Norman at all. Because I don't know if Norman was going downhill or not, but I like Norman stuff. But the thing about it is you don't see, like, name somebody in the last 20 years besides Uncle Frank that fished professionally that was a Norman pro. Anybody know any? Here's one that I remember from back in the day. Uh, Larry Lazone. Don't remember that dude? I remember he was always in Bassmaster holding up these big ass Florida fish, and they always had a Norman hanging out of their mouth. And he always had Norman on his shirt. I went to school with the original owner's grandson. Are they wealthy? Just out of curiosity, like from that company, like do they have like generational wealth from Norman? I would assume that they made a pile of money owning Norman lures. They're not loaded, but they aren't hurting. That surprises me because I feel like Norman as a brand was pretty large back then. Like they should have been sitting pretty high on the horse, I would think. Not loaded. I'm going to see Frank's crankbait collection. Uncle Frank probably has a pretty solid stash. Pretty solid stash. Dude, these little baits are really not fun. I don't know why I agreed to paint these. South Jersey's wonderful. It's like 80 degrees, partly cloudy. A little humid though. No, Brendan, you can't trust. You can't trust that. I mean, probably to an extent he does, but he's not. He's not. Uh, he he's not competing anymore. You know what I mean? Like if he needs to go film a show for a deep little end, like he can go catch a fair amount of fish with a new deep little end. But like if he's fishing for 100 grand and there's a deep little end bite, and he's got this deep little end that he's caught 6,000 fish on from damn 1994, probably gonna pull that one out just for his own personal feel goodness. But maybe not. I probably would, just because I like that old kind of shit. But which I don't know that I would like if you put me on the Elite Series tomorrow and said go fish. I don't think I would drag like any of my old crankbaits out because I think I would be too nervous to throw them. Like I know guys like that shit doesn't bother them, but I think Clun was a Norman guy. Bill Clinton. Rick Clinton, Bill's cousin, the bass fisherman. Burns, I got to get this shit out, dude. I've been waiting on this guy's been waiting on these baits for a while, since January. But he wanted some to go with him, so he sent me another box, and that kind of waiting on the other box got him put back, and then I'm finally caught up with the people that were in front of him before the other box showed up, and now I'm getting to it. I might take those home with me and sand them tonight. Build a nice campfire, sit out by the campfire and sand baits. I'll have to get me some. I've got epoxy primer out there, and I just don't want to mix it up. I could epoxy prime these, and not have to go buy a DTM primer. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll just epoxy these bitches. Yeah, I don't know what happened to. I don't know what happened to Norman's sponsoring people. Ran out of cash, I guess. Cool thing about being around here is all the Pragco and Norman baits. You see these one-off colors floating around. They did trying to develop colors. Later, Anthony. All the workers end up getting to take those home, and then they resurface. Do you try and collect those, Morgan? Do you own any prototypes? I'm trying to think if I own any production prototypes. I have color prototypes. These are kind of cool. If you're a Sixth Sense fan, this was the color number 45 baby bass color sample. Crush 500 DD color sample. Here's another one. Let's see. I don't really. I think I tried to paint the other one. But these are both color samples from number 45 on the 500 DD. I had other ones, but my dumbass painted them. Brendan, no, it did not. It did not. He wanted me to continue his custom line of baits. Was the deal, because he couldn't paint at the time. He was trying to grow his business, but he wanted to continue. He wanted to keep the custom part alive, and he wanted me to paint them. But the rub for him was that he didn't know how his fan base, consumer base, whatever, would react to buying a custom painted 6 cents bait from 6 cents that he didn't paint. Makes total sense. I certainly understood it, uh, but I don't think it dawned on him until I sat down in front of him. Uh, I know someone that has the Strike King prototype color run of Sexy Shadow like 5 or 6XD, and it's signed by KVD. That's pretty cool. South Jersey, I did see that cloth, the DRT sock swimming around. Interesting. Interesting. But it would have been, at that point of where I was at in my career, it would have been cool to have that job. Um, but it would have also sucked when I would have just been painting somebody else's. You know what I mean? Like I would have just been pretending to be Casey, which would have been easy. Like I could have done it, but it would have been pretty stale eventually. When I'm just sitting in the paint booth, you know, being fake Casey. But the only reason I wanted to do it is because it was going to pay really well. So I was happy because I was going to have financial freedom. But luckily, I didn't count my chickens before they hatched. But that I don't know. That was that point of my life where I don't know what causes it or what's happening or what was happening or maybe it was being in Texas, but like I don't know what I was doing, but like every time I rolled over, opportunities were like presenting themselves. Whether they went anywhere or not, like it was exciting to check your email because you didn't know what it might be. You know what I mean? Or your DMs on Instagram was from fucking Jackal. Hey, paint us baits. Hey, do this. And like it was really just like, you know, I was trying to like do better stuff and like everything was just like very alive. It was fun. It was fun. Uh, it was fun. But I feel like there was a lot because like six cents was growing at that time. Um, but there was a lot of upstarts. Like Guggen was kind of getting going. They hadn't started their hard baits, but like the kind of the YouTube fishing world was blowing up, and it was that was going on. So people were like really excited about fishing. Like there was people like talking about a lot of stuff fishing related, like the little Guggen dweebs, and 6 cents was growing right down the road. But there was a lot of just like energy in the industry. Um, Brendan, you can't do both, bro. You got to make up your mind. I'll just go ahead and give you a little early advice. One or the other. You should probably just fish. If you want my honest opinion, go sell real estate. Fish all you want, and build baits whenever in your spare time. No charge for the life advice. Listen, if I put as much time and effort into selling insurance, starting an insurance company, selling real estate, doing anything, if I put as much time into it as I have dicking around with fishing lures, I'd probably be a fucking millionaire by now. I could be retired. How many days each month do you fish? If I'm lucky, one, but not typically once a month. It's usually I get to fish once, probably every 2 months, maybe, if I'm lucky. It actually might be better to start while you're broke rather than slowly draining what you built. Yeah. Retire fast. Yes, that would be my plan if I were you, young man. Make you a whole bunch of money. And then dump it in your fishing stuff. No, Rich, I can fish here 12 months out of the year, dude. Got out for an hour yesterday for the first time since October. There you go, Brendan. How does that sound? Appealing? Did you hear about everyone crying to DRT this past weekend because the new Frenzy bait had a bunch of crinkles and cracks in the paint job? They just said it's not defective. My last fishing trip was 2018. There you go. There you go. You just need to join the Guggen squad, Brendan. I'd like to. Brendan, language, bro. To put you in timeout. Uh-oh. I got a ton of shit. I have to look it up. I have to look it up and see what this shiesty paint job looks like. Got a new subscriber. Thank you. Turn to Life Talk Live today. But I mean, I think it's good advice for anybody. Nobody told me that shit. Nobody told me that shit. Not that I would have listened, but I might would have considered it. Depends on who is telling me, though. Get to drive down and scoop Marty up and take him fishing. That would probably be pretty fun, Morgan. Burns, you want to get on a boat with Morgan? I worked 40 hours at my job and all weekends are for bait building. I made the choice. That's Burns' bed, and he's sleeping in it. We're certainly going to start doing things differently around here. I will stick to selling and training horses and remodeling houses. I think that's the smartest thing I've ever heard you say, Brendan. Congratulations. Congratulations, your head is screwed on. Okay, these little blade baits are really. We need to take a day to Ouachita with the Dreamwalker this summer. It's a tough line of work, Burns. It is that. It is that. Especially for the lead guys. I don't know how they do it. Like the garage lead pourers. Rob has a real job, and his side job is dicking with baits. That's just his fun money. Getting that lead long. I gotta get these things done. I'm sick of rubbing on them. I'm about to go warp speed sanding on them. I'm sick of looking at them. One needs a little more scuffy right there. Painting's probably worse than lead, possibly. I don't know. I'll take my chances with paint. I really do want to limit my painting in the future. That's the goal. I really don't want to be stuck in a paint room the rest of my life, painting baits. So maybe you'll see a production bait in the future. My bait, my paint, just not done by me. Then I can actually have a business, not a arts and crafts show like AJ said. Then I can sell stuff and steal AJ's paint jobs. send them to China. Then I can hire AJ to paint my custom line of baits and then go, I don't know about that. Nick is making Viking heads. AJ and Brendan are going to be your painters. No, I need more. I need more painters. 2 more. 2 more. AJ, I'm going to send you. Brendan, I told you a year ago to learn designing with SolidWorks, then you can make baits and get paid to design. Jim, great advice. Great advice. That would probably afford you a little time to do both. Burns does not want to be on the painting payroll. SolidWorks and makes baits. Unfortunately, Brendan, I have other employees that are willing to work for 22 cents an hour, so I might have to go with them. If I'm paying for you, I want some of those stencils. Oh, you want the copper ones that encapsulate the bait that are on the squeezy thing? That could be arranged. We'll get you set up. We'll get you set up, AJ. You will have all the squeezy things you want. Brendan, sounds like to me you don't have enough hours in the day. But you're young enough, your mind is still a sponge. You can still multitask like that. Instead of sitting here mindlessly scraping on a piece of shitty aluminum and lead. All right, those are done. Where's my tape? Ooh, lipless baits. I don't have to mask bills. That's nice. AJ, what are you doing today, speaking of? What are you working on? Or any other bait person out there? Is there any other bait builder, crafter, tinkering today? And I'll tell you again, I say this all the time, this damn thing will save your life. I masked so many baits for so many years with just a roll of tape sitting between my legs. Not the deal. Life advice for a rich Britney Spears. Let her pay for everything and enjoy life. Sending wiggle warts. Not painting the KGB on my bench. Ooh. Is it raw resin or is it painted? It's Tackle Tuesday. Got to build something on Tackle Tuesday. What am I going to build? Nothing. I'm going to sit in here and prep baits all day. Barnes, did you catch the crud again? The best looking one I've done, there's like 0 pinholes. No, AJ. No, AJ. You're being fooled. Just wait till you lay down and paint on it. Yeah, Burns is going to send out baits that everybody contracts COVID from. No charge. No charge. Talking wiggleworts, I never heard baits act very similar in the megabass griffin or the wiggle griffin. I swear the griffin is a wigglewort in a smaller profile. Yes. I've done some that look more akin to a sponge. Yeah. And some people ask me, like, do you fill in the pinholes? Like, absolutely not. Why would I do that? So, well, you're the paint guy. So, yeah, I'm the paint guy, but I'm not the body guy. If you choose to spend your money somewhere that uh if you buy a car that's got hail damage on it, brand new off the lot, like, you shouldn't be, like, spraying a new coat of paint over the top of it isn't going to make it not shitty looking. Like, you chose to spend your money that way, so I don't do that as a deterrent of people to think about how they're spending their money. Because there's lots of other baits out there that catch plenty of fish that don't have pinholes all in them, to where you could get a nice, clean, smooth looking bait, and you don't have to do body work on them. I know a guy who sweeps an industrial handheld laser that kills bacteria over his packages and mailed back during 2020. Wow, that's pretty hardcore. The Wiggle Griffins. That one. Morgan. If you try to fill those pinholes in sand flush, you're going to expose more when you sand. Correct. It's kind of, you can't even sand those with like a heavy grit. Like, even like a 320 will really fuck you up. You really just need, like, the best you can do is you can, like, surface scuff it with like a red Scotch Brite, um, and you don't really open up any uh, Pandora's box of pinholes. Um, but if you try and dig in a little bit, you're gonna open up even more. Um, Still never understand why Megabass got rid of the grenade. I don't know. Probably didn't sell. Yeah, anytime that's what I've learned, Morgan. Anytime you try and like do body work on somebody else's bait to like improve it, or anytime you try to do anything to somebody's bait other than just like scuff it up a little bit and paint it, you like create way more problems than you would have had if you'd have just like done it the normal way. Uh, Rash fill and pinholes. Hmm. The Big M. Cool name. Cool name. Focus camera. I usually just try to deter people with too high of a quote. Good move. Good move. Who wants this? JP, you want this Wiggle Griffin? It's a knockoff, but it's supposedly pretty good. All right. JP is loading up on baits. JP, it's your lucky day. You get the damn Burns bait from the other evening. And now you're getting this one. Let me hit it with a little sandy pad. Make sure the paint sticks real good. What color? AJ, it was wonderful. Burns did really good. Very insightful. Had a lot of everybody who signed up, I think, was there. Except Eric. Eric was down in Florida fishing. Green crawl. JP, what say you? Uh, Patreon was great. You didn't need a foil hat. No, just a couple hours of two dudes that love bass fishing and dicking around with baits. What more could you ask for? I enjoyed myself. Uh, Tim, I hope you learned that lesson sooner than later. High school football trivia. That sounds fun. A red phantom crawl would be sweet. Red phantom crawl. You got it. That's easy enough. Credit card. You got it. And people not talking over each other. Yeah, that can be painful in the ears at times. That can hurt the old ears. TK, have you ever had any of the wild lures, wood, wild beats, and paint? Yeah. No, I've only painted the plastic ones. Those got real popular real quick, and I got a bunch of them all at the same time, and then like this is back when I was in Austin when they first came out. Like people were sending in wild beats like they were going out of style, and then I never saw another one for the next 4 years. Literally, literally painted them all within like 6 months of each other, and then they seemingly vanished from the planet. No, you don't. I haven't had anybody mention Wild Beat anything in honestly 4 years. Um, Hello, howdy. Ella, how was your fantasy land? The big boy. You gotta come up with a good name for that one. A good name for that one. Most of the guys I hear that use them say it's the best wide glide. Yeah, I mean it's got everything going for it to glide real wide. It's huge and flat. I mean, if you wanted to, South Jersey, you could. I mean, why don't you make one? I mean, it would literally be the easiest bait to make. There's no curves hardly. Uh, you could cut it on a damn with any kind of saw because the shape isn't anything to it. The sides are flat. Yeah, it is. It is literally just a profile. No tail. Cut out a bluegill and never made it any further. Yeah, don't blame you. Do not blame you. All right. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. I hope these paint jobs aren't painful. Uh, Hardest thing would be getting an even joint and good weight placement, but you can see where to put the weight, so that makes it easier. Yeah. I have a crappie glad master carved. Oh. I'd be scared I'm going to crack the bait because it's so damn thin when drilling the weight holes. I think it'd be okay. Maybe seal it first. Give it a little rigidity. I don't know. Burns could probably help you with that. How to not crack a bait. I need more boxes. I need more baits to paint. Let's see what we got. Mr. Brian. I think he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be sending me more baits. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where's the one I'm supposed to be matching? This one. What color is this? I can't show. Damn, it's got the color marked out. Dude, Megabass stuff is so weird. This is pretty close. I'm about to get this back off. Huh. I don't know, AJ. The color. I don't know that I'm supposed to show this guy's magic color. But this is the one. This is the one he wants converted. And I'm thinking I can. I don't have to blast these. They do have foil on them. It's a transparent color. That's pretty close. But if I spray green over the back, it's going to turn. It's got this pink back on it, and if I spray green over the back, it's going to look brown. So I don't know what's going to be the best plan of attack for this. We'll see. I think the bait is 1 inch wide. Just do a bunch of little holes. Let's see what this note says. Please paint the Megabass in the, okay. Let me know if you have any questions. It's okay if the swirl shows through a little. There aren't many clear options available in the 110 plus. Hopefully you're able to strip the pink off the back. I don't know if I can get this pink off the back without opening up a real big can of worms. I think I'm going to leave it and just match my paint really green to where when it hits over this pink, it looks browny green. Is the color the guy wants the GLXS spring reaction? No, it is not. It is not. It's a beautiful color, but I mean, it literally looks like all the other Megabass colors. They're all pretty. I wish I could paint like Megabass to where I can literally lay a couple iridescents down, a couple candies down, and people worship the ground you walk on. The reason that is because their baits are so damn good looking. I would love to go be a miser for a day. A Megabass miser. Are those available anymore, AJ? Do those exist anymore? I think they did me a favor. And it looks like, no, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. I might be able to fix it. Get a 1/2 inch Forstner bit. and use a high density wood and you won't need as much weight. Yeah, if you run the opposite of the zone, your drill bit will still work. May have to run a higher RPM, but it's good to prevent tear out or even cracking if you need to drill fiberglass. Yeah, that's what I always heard when I was drilling my ram mount on my fiberglass boat, that when you drill your holes, you run them in reverse so it doesn't tear out. Good tip. Good tip. All right, let's see. I need to remove these eyes. Well, those are gone. I think. I don't know where that one went. It launched over here somewhere. There it is. How about that? Found it. Can I get lucky on the rest of these? I doubt it. No way. No way. Where'd that go? That's what I love doing the matte finish ones, because the matte finish eyes just like roll out. These do not. These are rocketing off. It sounded like it hit over here somewhere. I don't see it. And I have downward looking eyes, the imposter eyes. But if I could save these, I would like to save them. One popped out. That Megabass color looked like cracked sand. This one? GLX cotton. Yeah, I don't know. I can't keep up with Megabass colors or products. I don't. Like I said, I'm not the tackle guru I once was. At this point, there's just too much. There's too much. Now there's homemade stuff. There's like, 10 years ago when I was like hardcore into all this shit, which I still am, but back then there was only so much. Now there's quadruple the people that build stuff. There's all these new companies. And then there's like all the new companies that are popping up in Japan, here, everywhere else. Like it's just it's overload. It is overload. It's unappealingly too much to me personally. Hell, it seems like Megabass has like a new hot color that like people get on every month. More than usual. Is it because more people are throwing Is it because more people are throwing jerk baits now, like 110s, than they were in the past? I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is. Northern Effect is your favorite color from a painter's standpoint. Well, well, well. Let me inspect this thing. The belly color is interesting. I love matching Megabass stuff. I think I can do this. I see orange in it, but I don't know if that's coming off the. Yeah, no, I don't think it is. It's got a weird orangey tint to the belly. It's got the yellow down the sides or on the side with the green. There's a lot going on this debate, dude. AJ, how do you know whose baits they are? Did you deny him? What's his first name? Who is this person? Well, I throw the 110 when the stunner won on Okeechobee. I don't know. Because they look more beautiful? Because they look mo better? Because it's a sweet flex when people look over at your rod and they see a Megabass 110 title and they're like, ooh, you fancy. He must be dialed. Because the 110 casts better than the stunner. I'd buy the 110. I would pay $12 more or however much more for the Vision 110. So I didn't have to say fucking stunner and sound like an idiot. Like, just call it the stunner. Like, even if I'm catching this, like, fish on this bait, like, I don't want to tell anybody because it sounds so stupid. Catch him on the stunner. Like, Paul, the stunner would have been a good name back when, like, Exhibit was fixing people's cars. Stuna. Stuna's better. But yeah, like, uh oh. What color is that? Okay, I can think I can deal with that. We'll see. Jeremy, what's up, dude? It makes me think WWE wrestling for some reason. The stone, like the stone. What was it? Was it the Stone Cold Stunner? There's somebody had a move called the Stunner. What was Stone Cold's thing? The kick in the belly. Was his the Stunner, or did they call it the Stunner? Generally, I have two 110s on and one experimental jerkbait. They do have a color called Stone Cold. Of course they do. Of course they do. The Stunner. Dude, our bait's called the Stunner. The Stone Cold special move. Let's name whatever you want. The snake guy who wears a sock over his hand once visited my old high school. You mean uh Mick Foley? Really? It is AJ. Did you not do them right? What's your problem? Why aren't you doing these instead of me? It's with a Y though. These little floozies, dude, they float around to all the damn painters. Can't have anything any can't have anything anymore. Santiona Marilla. Was the rearrange an okay jerkbait name? Rearrange? I don't know. I always thought that one was kind of odd too. The Jekyll. It's better than Stunna. Like Megabass would never call their bait a Stunna. It's too cheap and like nerdy. Like that's why Berkeley continues to be lame because they can't figure it out. They name their baits stupid shit. Digger. Actually, the brine I'm thinking. What are the odds of that though, bro? What state's he from? You know? Oh, this one actually. One of the misers. This one had a paint imperfection. It has a nib in the clear coat. It has an imperfection in the clear coat. How about that? Send me some Stunnas. I'll paint them damn Stunnas. I ain't gonna tell you what they're called. I'll say these jerkbait things. These jerkbait things people sent in. It's a really pretty bait. Lots of colors. Lots of colors. Keep this one for safe keeping. AJ, dude's from Michigan. Same guy. Gotta be. Not a color some slapdick Createx painter can replicate. You're correct. You are correct. You gotta be a miser for this shit. The middle hook always sticks. That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever owned a Megabass in the package. I think all mine came used. Got to bring out the Criollas. Got to melt down your Criollas and add them to some sort of clear base. Have to do some cleaning on my little thingamajiggers here. Oh, it happens while you're fishing? That's annoying. I wonder why that is. Must be where the hooks lay. I don't know. There's not much. The back of that bait's really small. I'm surprised people don't break the backs off of these more than the bills. Which this is the little one. This is the 110 plus junior. What is this? Or tried a brand new into the trolling motor the other day. What color, Morgan? You know what would probably be really fun is to have like, I don't know, say you had like an extra $500 and you just wanted to go on a Megabass 110 shopping spree. That would probably be a pretty fun, considering their colors, like how beautiful they are. It would probably be fun to shop for Megabass. I've never done it, but especially if you had a store that you could go in. Hell has broken the tails off the regular 110. Hello, why are you so abusive? Why are you so abusive to your baits? Oh, hello. What was your opinion of the swap sale? Was everybody happy with it? What was your did you have people looking for certain things? One thing out of your collection you brought that sold better than the others? Did you have anything that people looked at and they're like, ooh, let me get that? All right. Put these on their own little peg. Broken the tail off of the Giant Dog X. Is Megabass stuff known to be expensive out there too? You can't touch anything from Megabass out here for under $20. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen a Megabass bait under $20. I think they all start from there at least and go up. Who's next? Tim. What are these? BGC. Damian Marshall. All right. Simple enough. She knows. One guy excited for a Timber Tiger. Some Bolt Black Grape Producto paddle tails. I would have probably been excited about those too, Hella. I would have been happy about those Producto paddle tails. Never broken a DT6. I don't know that I've ever broken a lip off of one, but I'm not abusive with baits. But I hear lots of guys complain that the bills break. My only complaint with DTs is that I have lots that sink. Have lots of sinkers, which I don't think is any. I don't think is anything I did. I think it's just a design flaw. There's a piece of tape right here. It's a hard one. Timber Tiger. What's his last name? Eric. It's a batch deal. If I break it off one, I'll bring it on another in the same color. It's interesting. Very interesting. All right. We'll drill that one out. I drill all this shit out. Let's see what Tim's got. Boots Anderson baits at your swap. Dude got them before me. I don't know if any good, but $4.50 a piece in the package would like to have. Tim, where are you at? Whoa. Whoa, dude. Hey, good God. I think this is the max number of baits you can stick in a damn flat rate box. Holy shit. Wow. That was a lot. Central Illinois. Good God. Wow. All right. All with the front hook ring still, split ring still attached. Those always get forgotten. John, I think they're about the same. Sounded like Legos. That's what it looks like, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's a lot. is a lot. Worms, I try and tell everybody, take the rings. I specifically say take the rings and the hooks off. But some people just forget the front, get the. I think they just get in a rush and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pop all these hooks and rings off," and then they forget about the front one. The front one always goes unnoticed. It happens. It happens more times than not. I have a. I have a boneyard of. Later, Tim. Thanks for sticking around. I have a boneyard of front front split rings. Dude, this one is absurd. It's like the biggest split ring I've ever seen. Schoolmaster, what's up? I'm just taking off the forgotten split rings. I didn't know 6 Cents was using oval split rings now. Is that new? Is that a new thing? Doug, I don't know. Thought about it. Me and Keith Dees might fish, maybe. I don't know. I guess wait and see what the river does. Um, I bought a couple of provoked DDs and noticed they had the oval rings. Morgan thinks he's fucking Ben Milliken now. Up to like 82 boats. That's pretty good. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think you have to sign up. I think you can sign up like the day of if you want to. I hope. I hope it's high and muddy everywhere. Like real high. Real high. So it's a causeway bonanza. A duel on the causeway. Some JDM Lucky Crab base like the baby shed. Come with oval split rings. Why is a black market Boston so expensive? TK, are his baits really that close to the original thing? Would be one, would be two. They're worth $45. No, they're not. But I mean, it depends. Like, I don't think you're not paying for some magic bait. You're paying what that dude thinks his time is worth and his baits are worth for him to build in the amount of volume he builds. You know, if you want me to build you a Boss will be one, I can build you one. It's going to cost you a damn $100 because I'm going to go in there and build it. Is it going to be a good bait? Yeah. Is it going to be, you know, a Bagley? No. But it's just what his prices are. And I think the dude sold a fair amount of them. But if you're a and I don't know, he seems to be pretty, dialed into like making a Bagley replica. But as far as being worth $50, I mean, what's your time worth, South Jersey? Is your time worth $50 to go build one and paint it? $50 sounds like a pretty good deal. Jeremy, I'm in Alabama. But the thing about it is, rather than make a Bagley replica, um, I like Burns's approach. If you want a Bagley, Bagleys are out there every day, all over eBay for whatever you want to pay. But I don't know that he did anything to improve on the bait. Like I don't know if he's got like an epoxy finish that's is like a little more durable than your standard Bagley or what, but I think he could have probably improved on the design a little bit. I mean, I can certainly tell you that. I mean, unless he's using Delta coatings, it's not identical. Like I've seen his baits; they're not identical. They're really close, and they're built the same way, but they're not identical. Um, so um, I don't know. I think his price tag just makes like people feel good. You know what I mean? That they've got something that's like expensive and nice, and like somebody built by hand, and because if you really wanted a Bagley, they're cheaper. You know what I mean? Like it's not. Damn, these eyes are stuck in, Strike King. Good googly moogly. What has Strike King done? Oh, it's because it's not Strike King. It's whatchamadiddle. Strike Pro. Motor oil zoom worms? Those are rare now? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. I mean, it's just like all that damn JDM shit you buy. Shit comes out of the same machine all this other stuff does. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, people argue that shit to death. Motor oil colorants from MF were going for 200 last year. Jeremy, I've never messed with UV anything. That didn't make any sense for the way I do things because I can't spray it because I need to spray jointed things and You know, I just need to be able to spray it. And because it wasn't sprayable, did not make much sense. Wonder why the motor oil colorant was so high. Heard illuminate AJ. If that happened, the Brotherhood is going to implode. What are those dudes going to do? Buy the China version on Amazon? Mo says it's fake news. Mo, the pilot. South J, most of my baits swap on the float. It's a weight issue. I was wondering what caused that, Burns. Your baits do that. Your baits do have a tendency to wobble on the float. Damn, these Strike Pro people really know how to glue their eyes in. Why did they make green gizzard with a foil on it? I don't know that I like them. I don't know that I like that. Burns, I'll be honest with you. I usually don't let a crankbait float up enough that you ever see the secondary action. If we're being frank, so while I think it is cool, I don't know that I've ever used it to my advantage. That I can think of. Damn, dude. I would like to know what glue they use for these because it is damn tough. Crankbait means crank it. Wow. Kudos. They're almost bomber tough. Which maybe these are bomber. Maybe bomber. Maybe the Strike Pro people make bomber. That wouldn't surprise me. Cold water. See, I wouldn't think in cold water I would want my bait to float. I would want it to suspend. Like I said, I don't know. Didn't get too cold down here. Damn, dude, I mean, I'll worm the baits, especially in cold water. I'll record a few more so you can see what I mean, because there isn't really ways of the Hellcat. That's good. What's the coldest the water gets here? I mean, I've seen it in the 40s, but that's rare. Like we went out like a month ago when it was the coldest, and it was like 54. Like we got to have a brutal, brutal, brutal winter to get the water in the 40s. It typically stays in the 50s. Like average winter temps, I feel like is 50, 52, something like that. Paul, I live in Mobile, down south. Dolphin Island's right down the road. Uh-oh. Oops. I just cranked most of it, medium speed. Oh, dude, not one of these. What is this shit? Damn stickers coming off. I guess this will make painting it a little easier. Just rip the sticker off. I think. Maybe. Junk. Junk, I tell you. This shit did not stick, dude. It's just peeling off. Might be because it's 40 years old. Water temps here are 45 and 44. It's not terrible. That's not terrible. But the thing about it is, I feel like when you get 50-degree water temps here, the fish act the same as like where y'all are when the water's in the 40s. Like they're not running around like all crazy, like eating buzzards and shit. Um, this thing is a mess. I don't know what they did on the clear coat on this thing, but it's like gummy. You just peel it off with your finger. Except on the bottom, of course. This might take an X-Acto blade that I probably covered up with baits. 2 feet of snow. Wow. I don't have any bulk bags of power worms. My cred just went out the window. Honestly, growing up, there wasn't anybody around here that even sold bulk power worms. Like I don't even remember seeing them on the shelf that much. I had the lizards. I did like Berkeley's lizards. All right, I might have to go get the soda blaster for these. I think we might get 2 feet of snow too. Damn. All right. Y'all have a good day. Thank you for sticking around. I got to go get the soda blaster to get these baits cleaned up. They're looking worse and worse the more that I look at them. But anyway, we will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Y'all be good. See you later.